Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Friday morning warm up. And we've got our usual collection of things to do and play and sing today. We're looking at what are known in some circles, as broken arpeggios. And I mean, arpeggios are broken in the first place, aren't they? But these are a special way of joining them up in a sort of a warm up, practicing kind of approach. So we'll be doing those later. We'll start with the usual clapping and chromatic scales. So first of all, though, let me just get onto the screen our clapping rhythm for today. And not a particularly difficult one, if I can find it. And right, you should see a 4-bar pattern on the screen. Just look at the right-hand 2 bars. Bars 3 and 4, this on the right-hand side. We're just going to clap that rhythm. So I'm just going to get the metronome going at a steady pace. So just bars 3 and 4 on the right-hand side. I'll come back to the first 2 bars later. So just for a minute, just get my little egg timer going. And just follow me if you're not a reader, and so right-hand bars 3 and 4. Here we go. 1, 2. What's a bit slow? I think you can walk faster than that. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's finish on this one. Now the reason I'm doing it just for a short bit of time is because I want to do the first one now. And just a little bit of an explanation here. The rhythm you've just clapped on the right hand side it sounds kind of vaguely familiar, doesn't it? But it's probably not one you've clapped before. However, you will have done because, or you might have done I should say, because it's what's called a metric displacement of a much more familiar pattern, which is on the left hand side. Now, metric displacement is when you take a rhythmic pattern and you move the position of the bars, or you move the position of the rhythm with respect to the beat 1, and then play that particular rhythm. So if you look at to the left-hand side, the bars on the left-hand side, if you start looking at the beat 2 and then read across, you'll see that it's what is bars 3 and 4. In other words, bars 3 and 4 are bars 1 and 2, but starting on the second beat and going round and round. So I've taken the first 2 bars and I've just moved it along by 1 beat, and that's enough to make it sound like a different rhythm altogether. You'll get the idea if you haven't seen this sort of thing before. It's sometimes called rhythmic displacement or metric displacement. There might be other terms for it. It's not an official thing, I don't think. But let's clap the first 2 bars. And you'll know what I'm talking about. Well, you'll know what the rhythm is anyway. I think you'll know it. Here we go. First 2 bars. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. One more time. And there you go. You might know that as the clapping rhythm for football crowds all around the world, not just this country. In fact, it came from America originally, and I believe, or having read the usual sources, that it was originally the beginning of a song, as played by the drummer, by a band called the Rooters, and it was called Let's Go. And the last 2 beats, it was da 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 da, let's go, and then the song started. I think the Ramones actually covered it as well, but the Rooters did it in the 1960s, who turned out to be the Wrecking Crew. If you don't know who the Wrecking Crew are, look them up. Very interesting background. And there's a bit of a hit single there for them. But it became a clapping rhythm played by crowds in football stadiums around the world, you know, the sort of thing. Tottenham! And that sort of thing. So, anyway, that's by the by. But that's just an example of metric displacement. Well, the two bars on the right are. Good. Okay, let's move on. If you'd like to get hold of your instruments and start to warm them up.
So the principle behind Philip Glass's hip music.
Yes, we have done that before, haven't we? A bit of the old clapping. What was it called? The clapping. I can't remember what it's called now. Clapping music.
It's called clapping music, yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. Yes, it comes up an awful lot in music without us sometimes realising it, because it's sort of disguised as another rhythm or tune. Good. Okay, the key today is C major, so I'm just going to pluck away at C, concert C, for about a minute. If you'd like to just blow some notes through your instrument, or pluck them, or scrape them. Sorry, Kay, you don't scrape your violin, do you? One, 2, 3, 4, and stop. There we go. Okay, good. That's hopefully starting to work. Sometimes it's worth retuning an instrument after you've done a bit of. Oh, the blooming WinZip advert popped up in front. I hope that's not obscuring the view for you. Sometimes it's worth retuning your instrument after playing for a minute or two, simply because it might have just changed slightly due to the warmth coming into it. So if you need to do that, then by all means retune. Okay, with chromatic scale then, and so we're going to be looking at starting on concert C, so D for the B flat instruments and A for the alto instruments. You must be getting used to these things now, being able to say them yourself. So let's just do the chromatic scale. We're going to start at 80 beats a minute. We've done this one many times. You're obviously doing it from memory if you are doing it at all, so that's good. Here we go, chromatic scale all the way up and down. 1, 2, 3, 4. One more time at that speed. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I think, as I was saying a couple of weeks ago, that's andante, at walking pace, moderately slow. So we're going to shift it up a little bit, and up to about 120, which is actually, well, it's 50% higher. So we're going quite a bit faster now. And that's the top end of moderato, or allegretto. There's a lot of things at 120. Allegro, bottom end of allegro. Okay, at the lower end of allegro, let's play chromatic scale. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. Let's stay in the allegro tempo, going up to 150 now. So we're at the upper end of allegro. So if you're wondering what allegro is like, it's anywhere from that lower speed to this one. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, let's just do one more, just one more, and we're going to go to Presto now. Not Preston, Presto. And that starts at about 170, so we're going to go to 180. 180 beats per minute, so your heart will be going, well, probably about a third. If you're relaxed, probably about a third the speed of this, but maybe a bit more. Here we go. Presto. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, like a few of you, I've got a Fitbit on today on my wrist, and I'll look at it afterwards and see what tempo my... It's the first time I've done one of these presentations with a Fitbit on my wrist. I'll let you know what my heart rate is as I'm doing this. That will be interesting. It'll be interesting for me anyway. Okay, we're going to move on now to the exercise sheets, if you'd like to get hold of that. And hopefully this, I've got some annoying... advert that's popped on my screen. It will not go away, so and I can't find a way of getting rid of it, so hopefully it's not on your screens anyway. That's the main thing. I'm just going to fiddle for a second while you get your sheets together. Nope, it's not going. Right. Okay, we're doing, as I say, broken arpeggios. And the idea behind this is that we're looking at the particular major triads in this current key of C major. So a triad is the root, the third, and the fifth, and you may include the octave of that root note as well. Root, third, fifth, octave. And the idea is that you you play up the triad, root, third, fifth, octave, and then continue by coming down to the third, which is the second note of the three, and then going third, fifth, octave, third. So you like playing an inversion of the first one, and then you go to the fifth. I mean, this is all written out for you, so you don't need to remember this. And then it goes to the second inversion, which starts on the fifth, and goes fifth, root, third, fifth, and then we finish with another root inversion at the top. So it's kind of working its way up the arpeggio, walking up the ladder, coming down a bit, and walking up the ladder and coming down a bit, walking up and getting higher and higher. But this time, rather than doing it through a scale, which is quite common, we're doing it through the major arpeggio, the root, third, fifth, and octave. But just to get going, let's play the major scale, and it's just simply the concert C major scale. So we'll do that first, which is the first two bars of your sheet. Here we go. First two bars, 1, 2, and 1, 2, 3, and 4. Yeah, let's do that again. 2, 3, 4. One more time. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, well that's the major scale that these triads are derived from, the three that we're going to do today. We're doing the three major chords in the key, and as you may know by now, it's the tonic, the subdominant, and the dominant, which is the first chord, the fourth, and the fifth, or the major chords built on the first degree, the fourth degree, and the fifth degree. So in concert C major, those three chords would be C major, F major, and G major. For B flat instruments, that will be D, G, and A. And for alto instruments, alto saxophones, E flat instruments, it will be, and I'm sure you know this, A, D, and E. So they're the three primary chords, major chords or triads in that key. And they're the ones we're going to be arpeggiating today. So let's look at the first one. And so it's bars 3 and 4 on the top line. And it's just showing the tonic arpeggio. That means starting on the first degree of the scale. And if you're reading across those two bars, it's going root, third, fifth, octave, fifth, third, root. Like all these sheets, I'll be doing more talking at the start than at the finish. But so that's it. It's walking. It's simply. It's not the broken arpeggio. It's just the going up and down the arpeggio itself. So root up to the third, up to the fifth. Remember the little mnemonic for memorizing this if you want to sing it. Kumbaya. If you remember that little mnemonic, you'll be able to. Kumbaya. Yeah, well, God, my singing. Da da da. Kumbaya. Da. Up to the octave. And then down again. Just want to explain one thing. As I said, most of the talking will be now. Just remember that the first interval in a major triad is a major third. From the third to the fifth is a minor third. So you'd have reached the fifth. Now, I don't know if you know this magic number 9, but if you're gone from the root to the fifth, the interval from the fifth to the octave root, octave higher, will be a fourth. And the reason is because between the octaves, any interval jump will add up, the two intervals will add up to 9. So from root to the fifth is obviously a fifth, and the fifth to the octave will be a fourth, adds up to 9. If you did it up to the third, root to the third, and went from third to octave, root, you've gone up another sixth. 3, 6. Yeah, and so 3 and 6 is 9. Let's do one more. Go up a second. Yeah, so from concert C to D, and then from D to the octave C is up a seventh. Of course, you know that now. 2 and 7 is 9. So everything adds up to 9 when you add 2 intervals up and make an octave. And there is one more step, if you're still following. If you go up a major third to get to the octave root, you'll go up a minor sixth. But if you go up a minor third from the root, you'll go up a major sixth. So so not only do they add up to 9, it's always a major plus a minor or a minor plus a major. And I know someone's going to say, but what about the fifth? That's a perfect interval. Up a perfect fifth, up a perfect fourth. Right, that's enough on that little side bit. It's not important today. It's just a thing about intervals within an octave. But anyway, let's get back to playing, because I know you're all sitting there with your instruments ready to go. So let's play bars 3 and 4. Okay. Nice and easy. Up and down the tonic arpeggio. After 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. One more time, that's quite straightforward. 2, 3, 4. Okay, so that was root, third, fifth, octave, fifth, third, root. Let's do the same thing now for the subdominant, which is the 4th chord of the scale, from the 4th degree. You can go up or down an octave. I've gone down on the guitar to a lower range, but you might want to go higher. Well, it's whatever's on your sheet. Here we go. So on the second line, first 2 bars, after 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So the same sound in terms of intervals, but clearly at a different pitch. So we're on the subdominant. Here we go. One more time. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's move on to the next one. So this is the third and fourth bars of the second line. So on to the dominant chord now, which is the one which is 5 away from the root. So if you're in the key of C, that will be a G, major arpeggio. There we go with those bars 3 and 4 of the second one, the dominant chord arpeggio. 1, 2, 3, 4. I should have reminded you to sing this if you've got nothing in your mouth at the moment. Let's do that again. Oh, sorry, I didn't count you in. 1, 2, 3, 4. La da 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 da. Do that all the time if you can remember to do that. Let's do that again. Dominant chord arpeggio. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Let's move on to the actual, this broken arpeggio. We've kind of broken it in a sense. It's going through the inversions, 3 notes at a time. So on to the next line now, and this is the first example. So just going to do those 3 bars, first 3 bars. And the first 3 notes are the basic root arpeggio, not with the octave, just the first 3 notes, root, third, fifth. And then the next 3 notes are the third, fifth root. And the next 3 notes are the 5th root, third, and then finally another root, third, 5th. So it's going through the 3 inversions of the tonic. You might want to sit down and just look at that and figure that out for yourselves if that's not familiar to you, or you might just want to play it and just get on with it. So let's do that. So we're going to play those first 3 bars, the tonic chord ascending broken arpeggio, after 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sort of sounds familiar, doesn't it? It's a typical sort of practice sequence for all instruments. So it's very much a warming up thing. Don't have to put too much theory behind it, but that's done a little bit of an explanation there. Let's do that again. Tonic chord ascending broken arpeggio. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. One more time. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. Let's do the next 2 bars, 3 bars. So the tonic chord again, descending. Exactly the same thing in reverse. In fact, you could actually just, I could have just said do the previous 3 bars backwards, and you'll be doing it. So yes. Descending. 1, 2, 3, 4. And again, 2, 3, 4. Da, 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 da. Oh, I got out of step there. I'll stop singing. And again, 1, 2, 3, 4. Quite often intervals are a little bit harder to play on some instruments than just going up and down the scale. So it's good exercise for your interval jumps. And you're effective, as I was saying right at the beginning, playing thirds, fourths and fifths, major thirds and minor thirds, and also perfect fourths. That's right, yeah, major thirds, minor thirds and perfect fourths in these examples. Okay, we're moving on now to the subdominant. So in the key of C, that will be F. if you can't get to sleep at night, it's worth going through the all the notes of the scale and just calling out in your head what the subdominant would be. To go C, F, yeah, like that, A, D, E, yeah, you know, you get the idea. You won't get around the circle of fifths because you'll be asleep by then. But you'll wake up remembering how far you got. I've tried it, and believe me, it happens. Subdominant, ascending, broken arpeggio. Next line then, here we go. Subdominant. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, hope that worked for you. Here we go. And again, 2, 3, 4. Last time, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and now we'll do the next 3 bars, which is the subdominant descending arpeggio. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. And again, 1, 2, 3, 4. One more time, subdominant descending. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. Good, hope it's going well for you so far, and it's all helping you master your instrument and the music we play. Because all these intervals appear in real music, of course, so it's good to have your fingers being familiar with going round them, up and down them, and through them, and behind them. So on to the penultimate line now. We're looking at the dominant chord, ascending. So the dominant chord is that chord which, when you hear it in a particular key, makes you want to go back to the first one, to the root chord, to the key, and kind of dominates the music in a sense. So we're going to be playing. So in the key of C, you all know that will be G. Another way to get to sleep. Here we go. Dominant chord, 3 bars. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is a G triad going up gradually. Guitarists will notice certain things. You'll notice little guitar shapes in the tabs there, like for example the 5-4-3 in that 3rd bar. It's just part of your overall big G bar chord. So you know, it's not doing anything you probably haven't done before. So okay, let's do that again. So the dominant chord ascending, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. One more time, 2, 3, 4. Okay, let's move on to the dominant descending now, straight into it. Next 3 bars, 1, 2, 3, 4. And again, 1, 2, 3, 4. Bum, 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 bum. One more time. 2, 3, 4. Bum, 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 bum. Yes, I can sing along with it when I'm playing. Whether I can sing that just without an instrument, I'm not sure. Well, I've only just played it, so that's probably why. Okay, good. But there are things to try. Singing, if you do sing bits of musical phrases, it really helps connect what you hear and what's in your mind to what comes out of your instrument. Singing is a very important link between listening, imagining and playing. Right, we're on to the last line now, and I didn't find this very easy, even though I wrote it out myself. So I'm going to slow it right down, give us a chance. And it's really just going, it's a little sequence of arpeggios through the chords that I've just been talking about, the root, the first, fourth and the fifth. Just taking these little broken arpeggios but making it into a sequence, taking you through a chord progression. So we'll just play it as a kind of a exercise, and it's not based on anything particular, but it does sound reasonably musical. I suppose you'd call that a study, wouldn't you? An etude. I've called it an exercise. Right, they are now quavers though, so I've slowed it down. Here we go. So we're going to do the first 3 bars. 1, 2, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Some of you would have found that very easy, I'm sure, but I still don't. So I'm going to play that a little bit slower. Here we go again. 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and. Let's do that one more time. 1, 2 and 3 and 4. Good. Well, I hope you got somewhere with that, and if not, just take it away and practice it at a slower speed gradually until your muscle memory takes you through it and you get faster and faster. When you do practice things like that and you're trying to build up muscle memory, make sure that you do play it accurately. Otherwise, if you fumble a particular note or always make the same mistake, that will become part of your muscle memory. So make sure that you play it correctly, however slow, and just build it up very slowly. Keep the tempo, keep the timing good as well. And then you can gradually crank up the speed to a point where you'll be playing it at unbelievably fast tempos. But slow and accurate in that particular approach to learning. Okay, let's do the exercise number 2 now, or study 2. So the last 3 bars on the sheet. So it's kind of a similar but different, more descending sort of thing. Let's just play that. So last 3 bars, here we go. 1, 2, 3 and 4. You can make your own ones up as well. Just pick chords, put them in a nice order and do this. And again. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. You might be able to hear it going through the changes. 1, 4, 5, 1. One more time on this one. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 5 chord, back to the 1. Okay, good. Right, let's move on because time's cracking on and we've all got things to do. So, although I am enjoying it and I hope you are too. Let's just go to the chord sequence bit now. And these are the chords, and also I think they're in the order of the examples I've given. So you can try the same thing over this chord sequence, or you can just do the usual thing of making some melodies up and improvising a little bit. Here we go. So just for the last minute, warm down. Let's just get going. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1. Two, 3, 4 chord, 5 chord. One, two, three. 1, sorry, 2, 3, 4, and 1. I'll just do this one more time because we're a bit late now. 1, 2. Finish on the tonic. If you went a bit out of step, it's because I did, not because you did. Okay, anyway, we'll finish there. Thank you very much, everybody, for coming along. Let me just get that off the screen and say goodbye. Nice to see you all, as always. And I always say that because I've just taken all the stuff off the screen and I can see you. Nice to see you. Ah, there you are. One day I'll do that and there's nobody there. Anyway, maybe see you at Freddie Freeloader on Sunday at the Black Bull in Chelmsford at 2 o'clock.